and profitable 90-day plan. So let's dive in. Let's start with the end in mind. And Stephen Covey, this is his quote. Love his work about this. And it's just a really powerful question anytime we're sitting down to do any sort of strategic work or planning or really anything, any project at all, is what's the intention and where are we hoping that we're going to end up at the end of this? Often, there's lots of ideas that get thrown at the table, but what is the intention and what is the end goal? So I want you to think about that through the lens of the bigger picture as we're having a conversation about this today. And then also, what is the bigger picture, the bigger financial picture, and what is the financial objective that you are hoping to achieve this quarter and this year? And how does this quarter help you move the needle on that? You need money for your mission. And so as we step into our business model evolution and choosing the right priorities for the quarter, we have to root them into the financial objectives that give us the money to fuel the mission, which helps us create the impact, which helps us create the life that we want. It's all really intertwined and really connected, and a very important question to start with. So let's get clear on that. The first question I want to ask you is, how many bridges have you built to Success Island? Let me clarify. There are many ways to get to where you want to go. There's many ways to get to the end results that you're hoping for, or to hit the financial target that you're hoping for, or to create the impact that you're hoping for. And there's, perhaps you've started building a path, perhaps you've started building a couple paths. Some examples around that is path number one, you've created a really great product or service-based business and you're fulfilling that business every day with your clients. Path number two, maybe you've started up a little e-commerce and you're working on building a e-commerce retail site. You've got a couple things in brewing behind the scenes. Path number three, maybe you've got a podcast or a podcast idea and you're hoping to monetize that or build that as a great lead generator for your product or service-based business. Maybe you have groups that you're working with. Maybe you're a facilitator. Maybe you are speaking. Maybe you're hosting events. Maybe you are selling a digital product, or maybe you're a coach, or you're doing one-off services. There's lots of different ways. And so each of these ways is creating a path. And if you sort of imagine an island and you're looking at this island and you can see it, and there's no bridges to get there. There's no roads to get there. You have to build your own bridge. If you sort of think about every time that you start one of these initiatives, or any time that you are working on one of these things, you start building a bridge towards that island. What happens is we create some momentum, we create some traction on one of those bridges, and then boom, we get like shiny object syndrome, or we think, hey, this is another great idea, and we start on another bridge. And so if you're looking at your island, how many unfinished bridges do you have? Are there some that are like so close that just require you to commit and finish and build momentum? Or have you have a bunch of mini little bridges and we could actually look at that and say, maybe we could take our time, energy, resource back and focus on really closing out one of these bridges. This is a major time and energy suck when we have too many half-filled bridges. And you know what? It just ends up feeling like frustration and things don't work in your business. So just because we can't, you can do everything, but you can't do everything all at once. And we need to give ourselves some restraints a little bit sometimes and say, okay, that needs to go on the back burner or the parking lot right now. It's just a not right now. And when we can take all that focus and energy back into what's going to be most profitable for the amount of time, resource, and energy we have, that's when we can start creating more momentum, more sustainability, more success in our business. And from there, that's a really great place to be building from. So let's finish some bridges. The unfinished work tends to be costing a lot of success. It tends to be costing a lot of time and a lot of energy. And I don't want that for you, right? We want to find more ease in our business, more flow in our business, more success, more profitability. And that is going to be a huge game changer for you, is just choosing what to focus on now. So I want you to learn how to simplify so that you can scale. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and how to decide which of all the half-finished bridges might be the most successful one right now. And it doesn't mean the other ones can't get finished later. I know that because I love a lot of ideas, right? I can speak about this because I have been there. I've run multiple companies at once, and I know how frustrating it can be. This is a little bit of an example of what happens when we put too many of our resources into too many different places. And this is what I call the project death cycle. So here's what happens. If you're looking at the top here where it says unrealistic plan, we have an idea, and maybe it's to execute on a revenue stream or a new launch or a new campaign or new initiative. And then we create some traction, we get moving, we get going, we get partially executed. Maybe you build a landing page, maybe you get an email out, maybe you talk to a couple clients. And then what happens is we don't see the result of it quick enough. And so then it leads to direction change. It leads to rework, rescoping, replanning. And what happens after that is, well, a few things. And it depends, if you're a company of one or a company of a few, it could lead to loss of trust with yourself, loss of trust in your team, loss of trust with your clients. This is really, really impactful on an organization and on the business owner overall, right? It feels like a lot of pressure on your shoulders if this repeats itself over and over again. This leads to depletion of your reserves, of your energy tanks, depletion of your depletion of your time and your resource. And then what happens is we are in a desperate dash to finish work, and we constantly are in the cycle of just in time, which leads to disappointment. And then that disappointment is, we're kind of bypassing and just on to the next thing and the next idea, the next shiny thing, the next bridge. And that cycle repeats itself. So you might feel very seen right now. And I get it. I totally get it. And this is what we want to really work towards eliminating in your business so that you can be more successful with what you're doing. You can feel more joy, more energized, more trust, more results, more time back. So how do we stop the cycle? Well, awareness is step number one. And once we've created a heightened level of awareness of this, then we get to make a new choice. So how do we break the pattern? The pattern looks like this when we are getting off the project death cycle and into a healthier work cycle. First of all, it starts with your mindset. It starts with great vision. It starts with goals. And that's what we're doing here today, is creating a really solid vision for you and roadmap. And that roadmap can help inform your strategy. Your strategy is the how, the initiatives, the actions that you're going to take, your project plans. That informs your roadmap, the one-page roadmap that we're going to create inside this program, which is a plan. We then put that into action. We put it into your project management toolkit. We put it into your calendar. We're able to delegate on it. And that leads to great execution, which is created through strong habits, business ritual, commitment, devotion, discipline. And again, that fuels you having a mindset that is built out of confidence and belief in yourself, because you are witnessing and seeing yourself execute, create, like action your goals and actualize your goals, which is so freaking mojo boosting and has a serious, significant impact on your mental health, your well-being, your business, your bank account, your life, your relationships. So the work that we're doing here is so important. And I want you to really think about this and even take a moment now to map out how that project death cycle has impacted you in the past. And the more clear we are on that, the more we can create that awareness to get off the cycle when we notice that it is happening and make a new, healthier choice. Yeah, are you with me? Okay, you can pause this now and grab a plain piece of paper and go ahead and map out this project death cycle and map it out with some specific examples that you have experienced before, and decide right now that it's something that we are going to end for good. Okay? All right. So, truly, simplification is how you scale. And this is the ultimate flex. It requires focus, 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 and discipline. And I realize that is a very, very challenging thing for the entrepreneurial mind and the entrepreneurial spirit, because there will never be a shortage of opportunities that you could pursue. There will never be a shortage of ideas that you have. But without proper implementation and process with those ideas are going to continue to burn you out. So we're going to simplify everything so that you're building on a strong foundation, a business model that's really working for you. You have process in place, and from there we can add more to it, because the ground that you are walking on and building on is steady and stable. And that is where we want to build from, not from a place of wobbly with like all the things and, a house of cards, right? So keep it simple, focus, focus, focus. And again, just, give yourself like a little reminder that just because it can't happen right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but we get to just put it on an idea parking lot for later. So, what financial goals are leading your choices right now? What is a financial goal that you have? This could be a personal financial goal. This could be your business revenue goal. This could be your profitability goal. But when we're looking at this next quarter, what's the financial goal that is going to lead the choices that you make? Which means, do I say yes to this? Do I say no to this? Where do I put my time? Where do I put my energy? Where do I put my resource? And this is going to really anchor us and be very, very important. So your first step is understanding, what is the financial goal that's leading your choices? We need to know our numbers. And the document that I've created, you'll see a spreadsheet in your resources called Know Your Numbers. It has all the different financial tools we're going to use in this program. And in a separate Loom video, you'll see me walk through exactly how to go through some of these examples to give you the step-by-step tools to modeling out your business and profitability model for yourself as well. So knowing your numbers is one thing, but building a relationship with them is another. What is your business revenue and profitability goal? What is your income goal? What is your sales strategy, and how do you plan on making this happen? How will you track it? How will you engage and grow your audience and your sales pipeline to make it happen? How are you considering the leads required to get there and the time and energy that you need to invest in relationships? How are you nurturing your audience? How are you building your new audience? How warm is your list right now? If you created a new offer or service tomorrow, how many people are ready to take action? So these are all the types of questions we want to be able to answer and track with knowing our numbers. The financial objective is, we want to create a total revenue target. So the total revenue that you're aiming for the next 90 days. And then we'll create a target, and we'll also create a stretch goal for yourself. So kind of fun to be in competition with your own goals of what's our baseline and then what could be a stretch, what could be possible. And then we're talking about the business model, which is the products and services that you're selling and the price and quantity that helps you reach those goals. So, financial objective is revenue or profitability related. And then the business model is the how, the products and services that you're selling to. So, there's a duplicate slide. So we want to cover our baseline, covers your costs, covers paying yourself and minimum profitability. Your midline accounts for growth, and then your stretch accounts for growth plus plus, right? So working towards staying in possibilities. Once we are clear on what that is, what those revenue targets is, what the income goal is, the profitability goals is at our midline or our baseline, midline, and stretch, then we get to ask the question, what needs to be true to make that happen? What needs to be true to make that happen? This is where we get to have some fun with it. We get to play with your business model. We get to play with, what are all of the numbers that we could, that can dictate our next steps and our actions that we're going to take, our sales initiatives, our growth initiatives. And it starts with what's on the menu? What are you selling? Is it seasonal or is it pretty steady for you that you're always selling the same things? And we need to get clear on what's on the menu so we know where to put our time and energy for marketing, for nurturing, for selling, for communication, and what that looks like. And that really is where we're going to spend our time and energy in our business, is making sure that the sales and the growth engine are working in alignment with what you've got on the menu. So when we go into the business model audit, and you can get into the next Loom video where I'll go through this in depth, it's going to invite you to name all of your products and services and to establish the menu and price list. And this is key to outline, what are all the current products and services that we have? And then potentially, what are all the future products and services that we want to offer? And how does it play a role in our business model? And what problem does it solve? And what does it simplify for our customer? Answering these questions also really helps us with our marketing. And once we're clear on that, it's always fun to go and experience your business as if a customer would and find out, is it actually easy to buy from me right now? I think that's a really powerful thing to also say, if this is what we're selling, how easeful is it for someone to purchase from us? Again, I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it louder for the people in the back. You need money for your mission. You need money for your mission. There are not enough rooms having conversations about the importance of prioritizing your financials in your business, your relationship with money, and ensuring that you feel confident in selling your products and services, because your products and services, I love to look at your sales as not selling, but being in service. And there's sometimes a complicated exchange that entrepreneurs feel when it comes to selling, and that holds them back from the success and the results that they desire. And so I don't want that for you. What I want for you is to be profitable, to be successful, to feel easeful around money. And that means that you need to be confident in what you are offering and how you're offering it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive in and do a business model audit and decide what's on the menu and what your profitable priorities are. As we're doing this, I want you to think about what's the highest impact activity for the lowest amount of effort. Highest impact, lowest effort. So there are several different ways to, make the money that you want. Let's just, use the example. If it's $100,000 or $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's really all just a math equation as for how many items or products or services we're selling, how many customers are purchasing, and what the price is of it. So it's volumes. If we want to increase our revenue or profitability, it's a matter of increasing the number of purchases or increasing the price of the offers. So we're going to look at that as well. And this is where it's going to call to attention your time, energy, and resource in this season, and what makes the most sense for how much time you have to do all of it. I mentioned this before, but is it easy for your customer to buy from you? That's really important. And then, is it clear the next yes that they can take with you? So does your business model make sense where we're continually opening new doors for them and making it clear and obvious what the next step is with us? So if we have an intro offer, and are we meeting them at the next level of that, of a more mid-tier offer? Are we offering ongoing subscriptions? Are we thinking about seasonal purchases? Are we thinking about the customer journey and meeting them where they're at each level of service and what they need? And are we asking ourselves the question of what is this simplifying for them and what's the next yes that they can take? It's really powerful. I see huge breakthroughs with my clients when we're just thinking about what's the next yes they can take with you. This can unlock creative thinking on what is the next yes, what is a new opportunity for a revenue stream, and potentially there is some space for you to start thinking about that and creating it as well. So the next video is going to be the Loom video, where I'm going to walk you through this in the spreadsheet, and then you can get started in the Know Your Numbers spreadsheet as well. So let's dive in.